Richard Villa Comedy presents.
Speed. Want to try it again?
The Richard Villa Podcast. The Richard Villa Podcast.
That's right, we're live.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Richard Villa Podcast. I have a very special guest, and I always say that in every fucking podcast. But everybody
feel special.
So they can feel special. Plus, I love working with this guy. I've known him. How long have I known you now?
Ooh, so I think February be my 10-year mark in comedy, so probably 9 years now.
9
Almost
years,
going on 10
yeah.
years.
I saw you when you first initially started
Yeah.
doing it. I remember people
That was
asked me,
long-
"Hey, Carlos Mencia's cousin wants to get a spot."
I'm his nephew. Whatever
Please,
to say.
don't call him that shit. All right?
I remember I
It's
used to get pissed off about that shit. Like, I don't want to be known by
Rivest
that.
Dunlap.
Rivest Dunlap. Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yes, how's it going, man? So,
It's going good, man.
Let's address the elephant in the room. So you're not his nephew.
No, I am
No,
his
no,
nephew, not his cousin.
Not his
yeah,
cousin.
That's my mom's little brother.
Oh, your mom's,
My mom's little brother,
So
correct.
he's your uncle.
Correct.
He's your uncle, and you're not cousins.
We're not cousins. We're not German. We're not Mexican. We're Honduran.
Okay,
Let's get
you
that.
know how fucking confusing that is to people now.
Yeah,
First they
bro,
go,
I know.
"Oh, wait, Carlos is not Mexican.
Yeah, he's-
wait,
he's
that's
German?
That's his cousin.
That's-
No,
yeah, but
that's
he's
his
black.
Wait, that's his nephew.
Yeah.
How
But that's the internet for you. You know, they don't get it right, and so now I have to come on to your podcast and explain.
So first of all, I mean, listen, for me as a comedian, I know we're all curious. Why do you decide comedy? Like, I don't wish this. If I was super mega famous, I don't wish to have a son that wants to be a comedian because they have to live under that shadow.
You know what's funny?
Why comedy?
I think I feel that comedy chose me, and the reason I say that is because when I was growing up, I didn't know who my uncle was or what he did. He would just come to the projects.
But
with the
that
limo.
But he was a rich uncle. Everybody knew that, right?
Yeah, he was the rich uncle, but shit, I'm a kid. I didn't know what the fuck he
You
did.
thought he worked for the cartel?
Something like you don't roll up in the Montevilla projects in a limo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
who the fuck is So growing up, I was always like that dude, and I being half black and half Hispanic, like I use humor as a defense mechanism. So that's how I became the funny guy. And then when I got into like junior high, then my principal, she was like, "You're gonna be a comedian when you grow up." Again, I didn't know what the fuck a comedian was. I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." And then my mom's like, "Hey, your uncle's in town. You want to go see him perform?" I was like, "All right, cool."
You thought he was a singer?
I
What the
I
fuck?
didn't even know what the fuck at the
Played
time.
in a salsa band?
And then he was at the salsa band of the mariachi. Then he was at the Ontario Improv.
Okay.
And then I saw him for the first. I remember you obviously you know how it is, the red curtains. I was like fucking 15 looking through the curtains and packed room, and he was just slaying, like murdering. Again, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about because he's like more, I don't want to say a political comic, but he touches on issues most comics don't touch on.
Yeah.
So, but I remember that laugh, and I was like, wow, this is fucking dope. So that Monday, I went back to school, and I told my principal, I was like, hey, I saw my uncle. My uncle's a comedian. And she's like, who's your uncle? I was like, have you heard of Carlos Mencia? And she's like, that's not your uncle. You're black. I was like, what?
That's funny to me.
Yeah.
Are you stupid?
Are you
'Cause
say,
you're
yeah,
black.
She looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. I was like, no. And at the time, I didn't know like my heritage, so I would tell people I was Mexican because I grew up in East LA where there's Mexicans.
You know you look nothing like a Mexican.
Well, no shit. They're like, yeah, he doesn't. But then, I'm Honduras, half Honduran. So
Okay,
therefore,
okay.
shit becomes a lot different. And then she was like, that's not your uncle. I was like, no, for real. So I got her tickets to that Friday show, I believe. And then Monday came and we talked about it. And
Fucking teacher just want to read.
yeah, that's probably it.
Did you get good grades in your class?
No, I was bad. And the thing is with school, I wasn't like a bad student. I was just like, bless my mom's heart. But in that time, like the N-word was being thrown around like frequently. So my mom didn't like it because my grandma was racist towards me, or for her for having me, because I'm the first black kid born into the family. So she was like, whoever call you a nigger, you better beat them up. And in retrospect, that's bad information to give a kid.
Yeah, mom.
But
let's not.
yeah,
have
let's
a
not
kid beat up everybody.
Everybody
at
that
school.
says it. Yeah, exactly. So I became like the bully because anyways, yeah.
All
But
right. So that still doesn't tell me. So you saw your uncle perform.
saw him perform.
And you said, "This is what I want to do."
Yeah, more or less. I didn't it didn't really dawn on me until I was like 21, when I was like just working, and like one day I looked at my hands. I was like, dude, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And I was like, fuck no. I was like, let's give comedy a shot. You know, you're pretty funny. Like, let's see what we can do with it. And quit my job, went to Liam's, the first mic I ever did.
Wow. If
Yeah.
people that don't know Liam's is, yeah.
You know what? Liam's is a legendary spot, bro.
Legendary
it
spot.
is.
And let me tell you, it didn't matter who you were. You did Liam's, and Rick, dude, big ups to Rick for
Rome,
running.
yes.
Rick Rome fucking running that room. Thank you very much. And we'll talk about something about Rick in a minute. But yeah, that room made you a man, dude. And I can't believe. See, I had a similar experience. I went to Tortillas, and that was their workout gym. That's where Gabriel comes out, and Willie comes out, Felipe comes out. All these monsters are G. Riley, Martin Moreno. They're all there. Alfred, all those guys are coming out Tortillas, and that was my stomping ground, and it was my Liam's per se when I first started. So I understand to start in the very roughest, toughest fucking show.
Yeah.
that has
And it was good. Like it wasn't a comedy room, but it was a comedy room. Like it just felt like, right.
You went to gain the respect of the comedians.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
room. You didn't give a fuck about the
people,
audience.
yeah.
You want the comedian to go, bam, bro, that fucking joke killed.
Yeah. Can I get booked on Ontario now?
Yeah.
35 comics doing 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember those shows. Shit. Hell
So
yeah.
you do Liam's, then what happens?
I did
No,
Liam.
wait. Why aren't you taking advantage of your uncle right now?
Like right now or then?
Meaning then.
Or then. Well, he didn't know I was doing comedy, and I wanted it that way. He didn't know I was doing comedy until like 4 years in to me doing stand-up. And then he did my birthday show at another great spot, John Lovett's at the Universal City Walk. Damn, I'm dropping jewels right now. And he did my birthday show. He saw what I was capable of. And he's like, you're going to come on the road with me, the following year. I was like, all right, cool. And then I went on the road. And being on the road it's at that time weird, because I wasn't like a comedian yet. I mean, 4 years in. Yeah, you're
green.
Back to green. Yeah, you're back to step one.
And it's not like it's 4 years of nonstop comedy shows. It's 4 years, and the first year was maybe 12 shows.
If that.
Year.
Yeah.
The year. We're talking about year. And then the second year is maybe 38 shows.
Yeah.
And maybe by the fourth year, you're at 50 shows a year.
Yeah.
Which 300 and some days were no shows.
Exactly.
It was just fuck, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
now you're on the road with your uncle, and of course you're not a comic yet.
Yeah, so he's teaching me the ropes. I'm learning, and the day I found out like I'm fit for this, we were actually in San Francisco. Was it San Francisco or Cobb's? It was one of those. But they sat me down. It was Joey, my uncle, and Randy, the photographer.
Okay, so Joey
was
manager.
my uncle's road manager for years. I missed that dude. So it was them three. They sat me down. We were in the hotel. And this is how Grandma's Mayate. Because like he was like, you need to write. So that's when Grandma Mayate kind of like formed. I wrote it that day. And he did it to scare me. But he was like, if you don't go up and do new material, you're going to be off the tour. This was day one. I was like, all right, fuck it. So I will go back to my room. I'm going over my shit. I'm like, all right, I got this. It was a punchline. Did the punchline, crushed it. Then like they were all Joey and Randy, they were excited. They're like, hell yeah, like you're the only fucking comic that's ever done like new material. And he's like, do new material.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah. So Joey's dumbass, he started to get me drunk. So I'm excited. I'm having a good time. I'm feeling myself. I go up to the next show because there's 2 shows. Fucking bombed. And in my head, I think I'm crushing, right? And no, it was bad, bro. I'm like crash and burn. Then my uncle goes on stage and he's like, what the fuck just happened? Like, dude, I thought I was fucking like gold, but nah, bro. I've way too many drinks, and I had that like confidence and the ego. And
yeah, what's up, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, yeah, that kind of put me in my place, but it also let me know like you're on the right path.
You're
capable of doing
it.
Exactly.
Don't fuck it up.
Exactly. So it was both like learning stones of the positive and the negative of the comedy.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 9 years, right?
9 years now.
It's at the 4-year mark. Now you're on tour. For people that don't know, what is it like to be on tour with Carlos Mencia?
It's fun. It's I guess it all depends on person you're with, because if my uncle listens to this, sometimes he could be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, which takes you out of that.
But what is an asshole? Because some of these comics are.
Well, it's okay. I don't want to say asshole. It's more the ego. You have to deal with that person's ego, especially somebody at the top of his game. At that,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
you were there when Mencia was.
I was
the talk of the town.
The talk of the town. Yeah.
He
so
was it.
So it was, but besides him, like he's like whatever anybody has to say about him, that's their opinion. But if you really meet the dude which you've had, he's a great dude.
Let me just state this out loud and for everybody. Mencia's treated me with nothing but respect,
True,
and humbleness, and has always met me with open arms. And out of all the Latinos out there, when I was doing the refry shows, was the only one besides Jeff Garcia to come and support the room and dropped in as many times as he could. So for that, I'm always grateful. And for me, he has all the respect in the world because of that. He treated me like a human being when most people wouldn't. So for me, my hat's off to this man. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't quit. And that being said, let's keep on going. We all agree on the same thing.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. And this is the thing that I want to explain to these young comics is when you look at Rivest or you look at myself and you go, wow, they're touring, they're doing these big theaters, or they're doing all the improvs, or they're doing the punchlines, and wow, it must be great. They tour with Mencia, they tour with Franco Escamilla. It is, but at the same time, you got to remember it's not your tour.
Exactly.
It's the Mencia tour, is the Franco tour.
Yeah.
Now, you're absolutely right. When I go on tour with Franco, not because I'm still touring with the guy right now, but it's always been a fun event for me. Like, I look forward to those tours because I understand that Franco's the kind of guy that likes the same shit I like. You know what I mean? Or he likes a bunch of other weird shit that I'm not into. But he doesn't take your time away. He'll tell you want to come and hang out? I'm 41, man. All we do is hang out and chill after the hotel room, after the show. I'm loving this. You don't understand? I get to hang out with my friends who are comics, and we talk shop. Sometimes we talk shit. We have a few beers. We're chilling, watching TV. Nobody gets hurt. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I'm a married man. These tours are fucking perfect for me. But I've been on tours where it's not your tour, and the guy is a diva.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
But you know what? I think that comes with anything. You know, it's just the ego, and you got to admit, Michael's a badass on stage. He's fire, bro. You know, you can't deny that dude. But other than that, like I enjoyed it because I had Juan Villarreal on the road.
Big ups to
yeah,
Juan Villarreal, bro.
And he like
I love that man.
So that first tour, I was like, all right. I didn't have my father growing up. So when my uncle brought me on tour, I kind of looked at him as a father figure. You know what I'm saying? And he knows this as well. But he was dealing with his own stuff because it was like at that time it was like the Joe Rogan shit.
Is that when you?
Yeah, that's when I was on tour with him because like before he went back on tour, we all talked about it. And he's like, I was just not gonna do it anymore. Like,
did Brad Williams jump off the tour because of the Joe Rogan thing?
No, it was already done. The tours were already said and done. This was like the rehash of Mencia. This was the new territory that special that came out. That was that year. Joe Rogan happened. He took off 2 years from doing stand up. And he was literally gonna quit. He's like, fuck this, I'm good, you know, whatever. But he realized like people still love him. His fans still love him. So that's when that tour started. And as me wanting to like, hey, teach me, like I wanna be fucking the one, you know, he was just dealing with his own issues. So I had like good thing Juan was there. Because Juan also taught me the ropes and like what to do and not to do and stuff like that. So big ups to Juan for that.
Yeah, dude. Because as a feature, you do have to know where's your place. And know, okay, pull back. You can speak up. And that's just the way it is, man. When you get your own tour and when you're touring across the country and you have an opening act, they're going to have to accommodate you.
True.
Because that's your source of income.
Yep.
That's where you're making money.
And you know what? I again, me and my uncle, we had this talk. Like, I took him for granted then, you know, because I was young. I thought I knew it all. And that's, you know, that's part of adolescence, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now our relationship is different, which is a little weird because like we can actually have a full-on conversation without bickering and stuff like that. Because before, like, I'd be like, whatever, and fuck you, uncle, and shit like that. So the relationship's good now, which I'm happy with now. So.
Okay, but are you still touring with him?
Off and on. I'm doing my own stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. So that's what I mean. I mean, people might think, oh, Rivest got there because his uncle got him.
Oh
there.
no, God no.
It's not that easy,
No,
guys.
it's not. No.
You get to now. What are some of the perks going on tour with your uncle? What were some of the perks? Because it's not all hell.
It's no. I mean,
what were some of the perks
the
of going?
parties, the women. Like they, dude. I
love those laughs.
One year I probably slept with 50 women within the year. Like every week we were on the road, I had 1-2 new bad chicks and fly out and do it all over again. Perks,
Perks, okay.
eating great, expensive restaurants, and So I mean, being with somebody like that, there's always a it's the perks and the downfalls of whoever you're with. Some people are chiller than others, but at the end of the day, that's still your boss, and you have to go with what he says.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I got to go to Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. Thanks
nice.
to Franco, I got to go out there, and they say, we're going to stay here for 3 days, but you're only performing 1. Okay,
right.
so I think I'll find some things to do.
Hell yeah.
While I'm in Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. So
Hell
good.
yeah. That's
So-
awesome. Shit.
So yeah, there are perks, there are highlights, but it's still just as much work.
Was work,
and
yeah.
and know that it's funny because I was listening to Joey's podcast and he's talking about how people come and whisper in your ear, like after they say hi to Joe Rogan, tell him what a great comic he was. They would come over to Joey and say, between me and you were funnier. And Joey says, I don't believe that shit.
That's yes. Cisco and I, we got that a lot when me, Cisco, and my uncle were on tour. Actually, with Momo as well that year. Reviews online, like Carlos was great, but fucking Rivest and Cisco, they were crushing it. Yeah. And I'm like, how do you sit through? Well, at least my uncle, 2 hours worth of show, and like get out of there and be like, oh, you're okay, but these two guys are great. Like I just don't.
That lets you know that comedy's subjective.
True, that's
okay?
true.
Now,
True.
that room full of people tells you that hard work is not. Meaning, it took your uncle hard work to get those people fucking there. So you need a combination of both.
Bro, that's true.
You
That's
need
very
to be
true.
funny, and you need to have that hard work ethic. And don't believe that hype. Meaning, as a feature, if you're out there thinking, oh fuck, all these people are saying that they're just kissing your ass. Trust me. When I go with Franco, when I hear a guy tell me that, or some fan of Franco's tells me something like that, I always reply, yeah, but I didn't have to go out there for 2 hours.
That's exactly.
You
That's
understand? I did
exactly my
15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
Shut the fuck
but-
up.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
If I had to do 2 hours, you'd probably change your mind in a second. Like, man, those 15 were fire, but
Right,
then
yeah.
after that,
that hour and 30.
kinda
Ooh,
stunk. That hour 40. ugh.
I feel you on that. I definitely feel you. On
Why does Momo leave? Because Momo now works with with George Lopez.
George Lopez. I don't know like their full story, nor do I care. Like that's between them. But he's been to some of my uncle's shows while I was there, and they seem cool. So there's no animosity there.
Because he married the family, right?
He married into the family.
Momo Rodriguez is a comedian also, but he used
funny
to
dude.
tour. Funny dude who used to tour with Mencia a lot also,
Yeah.
and you brought him up. But I know that he married the family. Somebody in the family.
Somebody
right?
in the family. Yeah. I think she's. I don't know how she's related to me, but she is somehow. Our family's so fucking big, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
bro.
you
you
got
know,
a
yeah, you
shitload
know
of
how.
fucking siblings, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck. You fuck everything.
I think it's like 85 cousins or some like
yeah, some
ridiculous
bullshit
number.
like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Shit. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep up.
So it's kind of hard not to marry somebody that Mencia's
Yeah,
related
right.
to.
Especially in LA.
Now you know why he's angry. Shit. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, another million. Hey, you know what? But all jokes aside, like my uncle is a really good dude, and like he's always been there for me, and that's why like I apologize to him multiple times because I did take advantage of that, knowing who he was and knowing the.
We all do, bro. We all do. Don't blame yourself. It's just in our DNA, I guess. I've felt moments too where I didn't appreciate the things I was getting because they come to you so easily.
Easy, exactly.
That you go, whoa, fuck that. As you get older, you realize, and I'm glad you realize how important that was. The fact that I've always had this thing about going on the road, and I remember Willie Barcena was on the road with Carlos Loma. He took him on the road, and I'm a big Willie Barcena fan, and I remember being bitter about it. I remember being angry and saying, man, if I was only on the road with Willie, man, I could learn so much. Oh, man, if I did this or that. And then I have a monster like Franco, and I wasn't taking advantage of what I had in there.
Yeah.
I said, dude, I have a mind right here. The guy that he obviously knows what the fuck he's doing. He got here somehow. So now I explore that. I go and I say, hey, man, I have this joke. Can you help me out? And I take advantage of it every moment that I'm there and parlay that into something else. How do I parlay this exposure into something else? I got to interview Franco. And he says, yeah, you have access to me because we work together. This is something that not everybody's going to get.
Yeah.
So I got to interview him for the first time in English. But I started appreciating what I had in front of me. And sometimes we don't because it comes so easy.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. The refry shows, man. I could have made something more out of those refry shows, but I waited till they got canceled so I can appreciate them and go, oh, fuck, now I know. Now I know what they were.
Sure.
Back then, I thought it was just a spot for me to fucking tell my dick and ass jokes and get drunk. Now I realize that's not what that show was about. That show was about it was there for me to grow in the industry.
Exactly.
And I didn't use it for that. And I fucked up.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'm thankful for my uncle and being put on a tour that was so young.
Yeah. How old were you when you started touring?
I started comedy when I was 23. So, like, 26, somewhere around there, 26, 27.
And you're traveling the country now.
Yeah.
Staying in hotels,
Hotel
life.
Drivers
picking you up.
Being lonely on the road, so you go to strip clubs, being lonely, you get a chick, and, just that whole ordeal.
Yeah, but you live through it.
Yeah, no, of course. And you learn, you grow from it too.
And I think it's funny. You learn from it, you grow from it, and you get out of it.
Yes.
Meaning now you go we just had a weekend at the Ontario Improv, and I would look at the headliner and I would go, hey, "You want to go out and party?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "All right, me too." Yeah. And the next day we just said, "Why?" He's like, we're done with it. How many times can you do it?
See, and I'm there. Like, I have a girlfriend now, which we're kind of on the rocks right now, but that's another story. But that when I got with her, and then I started thinking about like the tour life and stuff like that, and I thought about the 50 women. I was like, all right, I think I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. It was fun, but it's time to grow up, and it's time to,
focus on building something.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, there has to come a point, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I started at 23 also, and I think the first 4 or 5 years, I always took it as, hey, it's happening. I'm holding on to dear life, and hopefully this works.
Yeah.
After the 5th year, 6th year, I was already established at the Improvs. I was always there, a household name there. I should have realized it, but I was too busy having a good time because I was still young. I was still in my early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, and going back, thanks for bringing that up. So being off tour from my uncle, that's what made me appreciate comedy. And that's when I started taking on the responsibilities of producing my own shows and getting my name out there. Excuse me. I've been running the Raw Comedy for 6 years now, 5, 6 years now. So, and the base is good, and not just Ontario, but San Jose, Oxnard, New York, and the young comics today, they don't know what it is to put in work. They're like, hey, you want to be on my show? Yeah, cool. How much are you paying me? I'm like, whoa. First off, how long have you been doing comedy, bro? 2 years. You're not getting paid shit. When you come to me in 7 years, then I'll start paying you, because that's when I started getting paid. Yeah. 7 years was like, all right, you're legit, like you do your own shit.
We need you at the show.
Exactly.
When people say we need you, that's the need you.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a show? It doesn't mean they need you.
They need you, exactly.
Would you like to? Yeah? Okay. And then when you say, do I want to get paid? They can go, no. I would like you to do the show, but I don't need you to do the show. That's the difference. You're not the reason the show's being built around. So, absolutely, dude. And this is the thing is, I don't know if it's the generation. I don't know if it's the comics, but people come in asking, and the reason I think I've succeeded is I always come in offering. Even when I met Franco, I didn't come in asking him for a job. I said, would you like to be on my show? Sigue la risa. That was our initial conversation. That's my introduction to Franco. It wasn't, I need you to do this for me, or I need this from you. It was, here, I have this for you that I think you will benefit from.
Yeah.
And enjoy. And then that's when the conversation opens up, and then that's when we get to know each other. But it was always me always offering something. And these guys don't understand. There's a million of you guys. Why you?
Exactly.
Why do I, if I run a show, why do I book you? And then why do you get mad? Because I don't book you anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? Because I have a choice. It's not my fault that I want other people on the show. Like,
True.
You run it with friends, and even with friends, dude. Friends will tell you, why don't you book me anymore?
Yeah.
Motherfucker,
well, I mean, the falling out between the Refried Wednesday, like, that should just... You know, because I was there.
Even remember, there's so many refried fallouts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is true. I'm just saying, like, all you guys, because when I got introduced to, like, the camp, it was you, DJ Cooch, Lewis, Hefty, Lewis B. Like, it was a lot of you guys, and then I turn around and, like, yeah, Refire's gone. Like, all you guys are just done, you know?
Yeah. And it goes back to, it's funny because I know they're listening. If they're not listening, they should listen. If they haven't listened, they should get a copy of this. Now you know what I was going through. Now you know exactly what I was going through, where you put in all the work, you set up the show, everybody eats, and then everybody wants to get paid like a fucking millionaire,
yeah.
And nobody wants to put any work, and they want to get more time, and you're like, what the fuck? Okay, great. Now the refright's gone. How many of you have called me? Refright's gone. But for all these years, for 10 years, the Refright show was strong. The Hollywood Improv. I booked a lot of people. Refright's gone.
That was the hottest show. If you guys don't know, that was the hottest show.
Okay. That's exactly what we hear now. The phone's not ringing. Nobody's fucking calling. Nobody gives a fuck. And it's okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I can live with that. But this is a word of advice to everybody producing shows. Who gives a fuck if whoever wants a spot? It's your show. Run it however you want it.
Yep.
Utilize your show to book people that you know are going to make you grow. Not only are they going to teach you something new that you don't know, maybe they can introduce you to other people. But use it as a networking tool, because that's why you're working so hard to advance your career. You getting mad because your friend won't book you anymore and he's the one that runs the show, and just because he's your friend you think you deserve a fucking spot, dude? Step back. You weren't there, bro. And even if you are, just because you say his friend doesn't allow you just a fucking spot.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? Why don't you create your show and he creates your show, and you can switch pods? There you go. You host his, he'll host yours.
Exactly.
Why don't you do your own fucking spot? Because it takes fucking work.
Well
but
said.
Then when you do have your fucking show, you don't remember me.
Yep.
Or you'll use this excuse, go, fuck him. He never booked me, so fuck him. I'm never going to book him anymore.
Good transition. So, again, been doing this show for the last 6 years. I've booked fucking a shit ton of comics. A shit ton. Out of the 5 years of comics that I've booked on my show, I would say maybe 4 to 5 have given me a spot on their show. Mm-hmm. But nobody else. And I hit him up like, hey, can I jump on your show? Oh, well, you know, I'm already booked up. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. He's going to be there in like 3 weeks. Hey, can I jump? Oh, well, I'm like, you know what? I'm just done. If they want to give me the love, then that's cool. But I'm no longer going to go out and hit motherfuckers up for a show just because, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm over that. I'm over it. So if they want to show me the love, okay, I'm here. I'll do your show. But other than that, that's why I don't go to the store. I don't go to the store. I don't fuck with comics because not only that reason, it's just multiple reasons, bro. I had a woman. Should I say her name? I'm not going to say her name. But she's a comic. I asked her if she wanted to do a spot. I think it was Ontario or Oxnard or whatever. She didn't write me until a year later. The following year. Oh, shit, sorry, I didn't, write back to you. But I heard that the only reason you book females is because you want to fuck them. And I was like, wait, what? Where'd you hear this from? Well, I can't tell you because these guys might get mad. I was like, wait, now the guys, like, who the fuck is... I don't know you. Uh-huh. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. And my one rule, when I started doing comedy, I was like, I don't give a fuck how fine you are. I am never dating a comic. Comic chick. Fuck no. Maybe a dude. Maybe, depending on that night,
but
Not
not
not a comic
at
chick.
least we know we have a chance.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know you as, but maybe I didn't hear it. But I didn't hear that from you. But apparently you fuck women. Then you're part of the Me Too movement.
No. It wasn't the Me Too. They were the come do this shit. It wasn't like, hey, take some of these pills.
Give me a chance to Me Too you.
Nah, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I'm an all right looking
Now,
dude,
I said what I just said, and in return, I realized I haven't done it. You understand? Just like I said, they don't book me. The rephrase show's gone, and now it's gone. Then I started reflecting on who did I do wrong, who did I fuck over, and I feel bad for them. But I keep a list of people that I did do wrong, that I didn't book, that I mistreated, and I keep that book with me to say I'm sorry. Like I made a mental list of going, I owe apologies to these people, and when I see them, I want to say it to their face and say I know what you're going through now because I went through it and nobody booked me.
Yeah.
And I totally understand what I did to you was wrong. Boom, I offer you an apology, and if I can help you, I will help you.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with one dude that I took under my wing, and he went around saying that I didn't pay him, which pay is far in between. So I took every show I was on, he was booked with me because I wanted to grow him, right? So yeah, you're not getting paid for that shit. But he had flown out we did a Milwaukee show together for like 2 days or whatever, and the numbers didn't come out as great. So I was like, I'll pay you in other ways. So I gave him all the shows, paid gigs, but he was still going out and telling people like, Rivest is a piece of shit because he didn't pay me for this one gig. And in my head, I'm like, but what about the other shit? Like you're looking at
it's
the
so
one.
Funny. People that were connected because of me, or people that got a deal because of me, or people that got shit done or needed a phone number because of me, won't take that into consideration. They will just take it as like, no, you fucked me for this.
Exactly.
And it's weird because I've had situations where I got booked for gigs that this person recommended and I didn't get paid for. And I'm like, look, Mandy, I remember it, and it happens. And I write it off as, okay, experience and you're learning, and this is what it's going to cost me. See, I understood now when I went with Manny Maldonado up to Porterville with DJ Cosmo. If you see him, he still fucking owes us. Fuck you, DJ Cosmo. He took us to Porterville. The guy said the limo's gonna pick you up. I'm thinking, shit, if the limo's picking us up, this is gonna be nice. We get to a Motel 6. I was like, motherfucker, fuck, get rid of the limo, get us a better room. We'll walk to the venue. What the fuck is this shit? Me and Manny are sharing one room, and then that's when I started going, oh shit, man. He goes, this motherfucker better pay us.
Yep.
This motherfucker and it was getting cloudy outside. It started raining, bro. Once it started raining, and he told me that Too Short was coming to do the show too. And it was raining and it was empty. He said, but the bar's open, bro. The bar's open. I said, fuck this. I'm getting drunk. I told Manny, get drunk, bro. There's no show. No, bro. I'm going to do my show. He better pay me. Where's DJ Cosmo? DJ Cosmo's gone. We left a $400 fucking bar bill.
No shit.
Between me and Manny Maldonado. But I love Manny. Yeah. I'm not going to hold Manny against it. I'm not going to tell Manny, hey, Manny, what the fuck? Well, you got bamboozled. And sometimes
it happens, bro.
When you get to travel with me, when you get to open up all my shows, okay? When you're opening up all my shows, when you're the one that I take care of all the time, when you're the one that's benefiting from all these meetings, you're fucking in the room when shit is being discussed and you're learning and it's taking you to another level, appreciate that shit and go, fuck, dude. All right. He fucked up in Vegas and he didn't make the numbers, but shit, this motherfucker doesn't treat anybody as nice as me.
True.
And I'm lucky to be here, but guess what? The same thing you did. You didn't appreciate what you had. It's the same thing that people around you don't appreciate who you are.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, bro, we got to look at a mirror and go, am I doing the same thing?
Yeah, this is true. And you know what? I thank God for my non-girlfriend at the time. She actually opened my eyes to all that shit because I'm a stubborn person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
you.
I know, right? Not Rivest.
Not Rivest.
So like in the beginning of this year, comedy was not on my agenda at all.
You weren't gonna do comedy anymore?
I wanted to quit, and not the fact of not doing shows or like getting to the next level. It's just I don't know if you ever felt, but like not funny at one point.
Every day.
Oh, okay, well that's what it was for me.
You just didn't feel funny. Did you feel? Look, they asked Eddie Murphy, why don't you do stage? Why don't you go on stage? Why don't you do stand up? He says, I'm scared
Yeah.
of not having nothing to say. You understand? He wants to say something, but he doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
So
And I guess I was in that same boat of like,
and I know how that feels. So what gets me out of that is say what you feel. Say what you feel at that moment. If you feel like shit's not working out, talk about it out loud and then start fucking from there, dude. Just say why. Reflect in the mirror and go, what the fuck is going on with me? What's wrong with me? Like, it's nobody's fault.
yeah.
Meaning I have the power to change anything in my life.
Yeah.
Everything in my life I have the power to do. Okay, so we know it's nobody's fucking fault. It's only my fault. So now that we established I'm the guilty party, okay, how the fuck do I fix it? And if you don't want to fix it, then decide. I'm going to live with it. I'll say, fuck it. I'm fat because I decided I'm good. It's not top of my list.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I have other shit to worry about.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Oprah
maybe
over here.
healthy, I put it in the back. Maybe when shit starts breaking down, I'll push it to the front of the line.
Yep.
Squeaky wheel gets the fucking oil. But that's what I'm
Hell
saying.
yeah.
Self-reflect.
I like
say,
your analogies.
What the fuck
Yeah,
what's going
for sure.
on?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Hell yeah.
And then talk it out. And then, fuck, that could be hilarious, bro. Even if your whole bit is, I'm fucking Carlos Mencia's nephew. I started in the wrong era. Like, god damn it. If I would have started when I was 8, I would be killing it right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this is the real truth.
Yeah, it is. This is true. It's very true.
Fucking talk from there, man. Talk and then start reminding yourself, just like you do with ex-girlfriends. Oh, I miss her. Why do you miss her? Because you think of all the good shit. Don't think of all the bad shit. See, you're thinking of all the bad shit and in comedy that justifies you quitting.
Yes. This
You
is true.
sit there and go, well, if I quit, I can do this. And if I quit, I can do that. And if I quit, I can do that. You're not going to be happy. You have to be happy now.
Yeah.
Now, once you're happy and you see that comedy is taking away your happiness, then that's when you need to leave comedy.
That's true. Give it up for Oprah, everybody.
Hey, you get a car and you get a car and you get a car.
You get advice.
You get advice.
Yeah, so now I'm, back into a good, healthy spot in comedy. I feel good. I'm writing a lot of new shit, trying to get a brand new 30-40 for December, so
Okay.
I'm happy. It's good.
All right.
Good feelings.
Any tour dates coming up that you're excited about?
Tour dates? Nah.
Nothing.
Nah. I mean, I have my little shows here and there, but nothing, like, hell yeah, this is going to be.
Why don't you sit down with your uncle and create with him? That's a good question, man. Having the access to your uncle.
I mean, I wish Shantae. You know who Shantae Wayans is? She just dropped a special on Netflix. Congratulations to Shantae on that. Good stuff. But we talked about this because she's related to the Wayans Brothers, and she needed to go branch out. She couldn't be the Wayans because it's not. She has them accessible to her, but how can I put this? It's a little different. People would think, oh, it's just that easy to go and be like, hey, let's work on this, but it's not. I've written my uncle. I've given him multiple material of pilots and shit like that, and hey, have you read this? Oh no, I haven't. Months later, oh, I still have. So it's just like I gave up. I gave up on him, not me personally. Just trying to do shit for him, and I know he's not at the top of his game right now, as far as being out there in the public eye, but I got some good shit. Maybe we can get you back there, but it's all up again on him, just like it is on me and now it is on you.
Of course, it's totally on that person. And he has the power to do it, man.
Exactly.
He has the power and the microphone to do it, but he needs to know he needs to diversify. I'll be honest with you. You don't know everything. You're a brilliant mind, but you don't know everything.
Exactly.
Okay? Let somebody else take the lead, and trust me when I tell you, if Mencia's listening, it feels good. It really does. Running fucking Refry for 10 years straight, letting it go felt good because I felt that the pressure was off and I was able to delegate. Like Sam, a bunch of these guys started helping me out and it started feeling really good. Now that I went into Spanish, Refry's not dead. I'm still going to bring Refry back. But it gave me a chance to breathe. And now that other people are taking the lead in some of my projects, I go, oh, okay, good. So you take care of that. Ah, okay. And you take care of that.
Yeah.
And all I get to do is be creative and you get to produce.
Yep.
And you're willing to do it because you know I'm going to earn my spot. Let me produce this.
Exactly.
He really needs to open up his mind to that and go, what else do you have? Honestly,
Yeah,
what else do you have to lose?
I understand.
Fuck
I
it.
understand.
Then I trust you. And if we lose, we lose.
We lose
But
together,
you lose
though.
more, though.
Exactly.
Because
This
I
is
can
true.
still get up. You
Yeah,
put in all the
it
work.
worked. Exactly.
I came in and showed my face. That's it.
Exactly. And that's all I ever wanted.
That's
You
it.
know, just say like, hey, just read it and tell me what you think.
Yes. And I don't just say these things. On Tuesday, which was yesterday, and I'm going to post these videos up, I'm performing in front of a 99-cent store. You know why? Because una güera loca fucking told me, hey, Richard, would you like to do street comedy with me or street mic? I said, what do you mean street mic? We just go in front of businesses and just perform for a minute. Just if there's audience, great. If there's not, doesn't matter. You come prepared with your material. I was like, okay. You know why I said okay? Because I don't got shit to do. And I understand you're busy, but I have a little girl too.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of creatively, I said, I'll do that. That's one of the options that I got. And I said yes to. And I was out there. And I brought the speaker and I brought the mic. And she's bringing the mic stand. So you just don't stop creating. You
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck is going to blow up tomorrow. So
Sure.
you just got to keep throwing shit at the
Content.
wall.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shit. Big warning to you, though. Producing shows, don't get caught up too much on producing shows. You will lose yourself as a producer.
Yes, I realized that last year.
Yes. Producing shows, guys, all the comedians out there, it's nice to produce shows because you get to stage time, but how horrible is it that you didn't even write any joke because you were too busy promoting?
Exactly. And that's why I'm writing a whole another 30 to 40 because I'm always like constant. Let's go.
Be careful. And don't help guys that don't want to get help. Meaning, fuck it, cut the rope.
Yeah.
If he's sinking and you find yourself fucking sinking with him, cut the fucking rope and tell him, look, man, one of us has to make it.
True. Very true.
If you want to be fucking crying and fucking say nobody loves you and nobody gives you a spot and all this,
yeah.
I got to cut you off, bro. Fuck. I can't take none of this shit. So, shrooms.
Yeah.
Let's talk about shrooms.
Let's talk about mushrooms. Oh, my God. Yes.
So I want to confess, first time I tried mushrooms. Oh, no, it wasn't you. Wait, was it you? No, it was Wacko. Wacko, first time I tried it. You were the second time I tried mushrooms. That was fucking bananas, dude. Fucking, and that's
I'm a
that's
super
actually
huge
how we
advocate.
connected.
Yeah.
We actually connected
Yeah.
because
we
of
stood
that.
in your car for like an hour when you came to pick him up. Yeah.
We just talked. We connected with shrooms.
Oh, yeah.
But what I love, you told me an analogy of shrooms that stuck with me, and it totally applied, bro. And I'm glad that now in San Francisco, I think they're legal, or Seattle.
I know. Is it Oregon?
Oakland.
Or Oakland. Yeah, Oakland just legalized them. You're right.
Legalized shrooms. And for me, we're just discussing that
Which is a weird place to like legalize mushrooms, like Oakland, out of like every fucking.
Well, when they start doing their donuts out there, you know, closing down streets, they need mushrooms. They need shit.
Well, I
to
just
do.
say because like it's more black, predominantly black, and I don't know if like black people fuck with mushrooms like that, like psychedelics just in
They
general.
should. If they don't, they should.
Everybody should. Everybody should.
And
At
that's
least
why I
once
bring-
in their life. At
Yes.
least once, and not like acid's okay, but mushrooms is where it's at because unlike acid, mushrooms, it's organic, and you just feel connected with everything in life.
Right.
It's beautiful.
It's weird.
It's super weird, but gorgeous.
It made me a more sensitive person, bro.
It does.
It really does. It really changes the way you perceive things.
It does. It opens out that third eye.
Exactly. And I remember the first time doing mushrooms, sitting there with Wacko. He's doing magic, by the way. And I said,
That'd
okay,
be
we
dope.
gotta fucking stop with the magic because you're freaking me
He
the
would
fuck out.
he would do some shit like that. Hell yeah.
But it was cool to have Wacko. But then I turned on the TV and I'm watching a boxing match. And all I can think about, why do they need to hurt themselves just so I can be entertained? Why does somebody have to go brain dead or die in a ring so I can laugh. I think this is such a cruel fucking sport.
For sure.
I got out of mushrooms. I said, fuck that. I
Yeah, I
love
was
boxing.
like- in the moment, yeah.
But
even then,
moment.
like even now, when you look at boxing, like subconsciously, it's still in the back of your head, like fuck.
Damn.
But you're enjoying it, but kind of taken back from it, right?
Yeah, I do take a lot from mushrooms. And you mentioned that the thing that you said is like somebody grabs your brain and washes it. And all of a sudden, like all your worries are gone and everything. And I think that's why it's being approved for depression.
Well, exactly. And like I tell my girlfriend this because she's like, she doesn't do any drugs and she's like, fuck drugs. She drinks. I'm like, well, that's still a drug, regardless if you want to, yeah. But because I took mushrooms last Saturday and this is probably the highest I've been in a long time. So
Can
I'm like,
you OD on mushrooms? By
no,
the way?
fuck no. Hell no. No, you cannot.
Have you tried?
It's food poisoning. I've taken 2.5/8.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Fuck, why do you need 2.5/8?
Shit. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, look, I know you don't do mushrooms, and she has a stressful job. She's in HR, but she runs like all the West Coast region. And I was like, you just try a little one day, not now, but you would just look at who you are differently and the rest of the world. And maybe you'll appreciate, not that she doesn't appreciate anything, but appreciate herself.
Yes.
Because that's what it does to you too. You know, it opens, something in your head to where humanity is beautiful through and through. And you just look at yourself differently when you are coming down, and like that next day, you're just like a sign of relief. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
Yeah, of course, dude. I mean, for me, it's been like a rewind for everything. Like, okay, now that I know what I know, now I gotta change.
Exactly.
Now I gotta.
And it's still hard. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
It's still hard because it's like, it's not like you pop mushrooms and then like, all right, I'm a changed person. It doesn't work like that. But it just gives you that little edge to be like, okay, I know I'm fucking up.
Sometimes we need something to check our ego.
Of course.
And it has to be ourselves. And I think for me, taking mushrooms was that trip. It was the, who am I? Am I a good person?
Yeah.
Talk that I had to have with myself. And once I discussed that with myself, I had to give myself an answer, and I said, "This is it. You're not a good person because of these things."
Yeah.
And now if you want change, you gotta change these things. And it's like I was telling you earlier, it helps you self-reflect and go, "Fuck, I do have to change."
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't see it because of our egos. Sometimes we don't see it because of stress, or sometimes we don't want to fucking.
There's a lot of factors that play into that, but
exactly.
But mushrooms will get you through it. It will. It will. That's all I can say.
Why isn't your dad around? What happened?
So growing up, so my dad got shot when I was 1.
Okay.
In his throat.
Yeah.
Exited back through his back, paralyzed for the rest of his life. And my mom went to Milwaukee, because that's where my pops is from, to take care of him. Then, I guess it was a little selfish of her. She couldn't take care of him. You know, she was pregnant with Peter and my dad. So she left. And she was actually going to leave me. She was going to abandon my ass.
Okay.
With my grandma. But my grandma, like, adores the shit out of me. She loves me, and she really wanted me to stay there. But my dad said no. He didn't want to break up me and Peter. So moved back to East LA. He had to deal with, all that.
And he's out there
He's still in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah. Can't walk, bedridden, actually.
Who's taking care of your dad at this time?
What happened?
Who's taking care of your
He
dad?
has like staff to take care. They come and go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your mom moves to East LA?
Mom moves to East LA, then Peter's born. 4 years later, she gets knocked up by another dude, Tommy, who's a black dude. My mom likes the niggas. Okay. Obviously. And then, that's kind of how that chapter with my pops, I didn't really know him until like maybe 4 years ago when I went to go live with him. And like, all right, tell me the fucking story. I'm old enough, whatever. So broke all that
Why did
down.
he get shot, though?
He was helping one of his friends. Yeah,
move a gun or what?
No. So,
how the fuck did
all right. So the story is, my dad used to do crack, right? So his friend went to go pick up from the dude that drove up to the place. And for some reason, like, my dad got this bad feeling, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get shot.
Probably. And so he went over to, like, go talk to his friend, and the dude just pulled out a gun. Like, I guess he had exchanged money on the other side of the car, and my dad was on the driver's side.
So when he gets off,
he didn't even get off. No, so they go. They're the two guys are in the car. Him and his friend are outside the car.
okay.
So he went for whatever reason. Once he got the cash, fucking pulled out a gun, shot at his friend, missed him. Dad fucking bam right in the throat. Exit out, and he's like, as soon as he got shot, in his head, he's like, I'm never walking again, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, some
Crack is a motherfucker.
Crack is a motherfucker.
Crack
Yeah.
will kill.
And I told him, I was like, well, why didn't you run, nigga? You were on crack. He started laughing.
Aren't you supposed to be quick?
Yeah, come on, man. What the fuck, Dad?
Does it hurt when you're on crack when you get shot?
I don't fucking know.
Have you ever tried crack?
Hell no, bro.
You
Hell
never
no.
been
No.
curious to just
Fuck, no. God, no.
No?
Nah.
I even feel weird smoking weed out of a fucking pipe.
So I think I might have done, like, angel dust or something, but it was laced where I didn't know when I was a kid. Like, I was, like, 15 or 16. Because after hitting that shit, I just felt like, I don't know, like the vibration, like I can feel the vibrations in my body. It wasn't like a normal fucking, like, let's get high. It was way different.
I've been there, but it freaked me the fuck
But,
out.
oh, yeah,
It
bro. I was
freaked-
like, yeah, I'm fucking gonna go home real quick. Yeah, bro. I was done.
All I wanted to do was go to bed.
Yeah, I was
All
done.
wanted
I was
to
like,
do
yeah, I don't know
go
what the fuck you guys did to this, but never smoked with those guys again.
to bed.
It's like fucking
like Smokey.
Yeah, never did that. Yeah, never crack, never fucking
Let me
heroin.
ask you this: after your dad got shot, did he still keep smoking crack?
Nah.
It was just the eye-opening for him.
Yep.
Okay.
And then when I was born, obviously, it's like, all right, but my dad has an engineering degree. Yeah.
Yeah,
He could build computers from scratch.
but just because he doesn't have his legs doesn't mean he doesn't have his arms.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying,
What the fuck? Look, I can fix computers. Look.
It's all, wait up, I need my legs for this shit.
I never seen anybody fix
I'm just saying, despite all the negativity, he is a smart, successful
No, I
individual.
believe you.
Yeah.
I believe
I'm
you.
not saying you don't have to believe me. I'm just saying it for the arc of the story.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, his daddy was a crackhead. Like, no, he's also smart.
He wasn't just a crackhead. I get it.
Hey, some people
Unfortunate-
don't. Some people don't.
I get it.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. But you and your dad are cool now.
I love my
What
dad.
did that do for you going out there for 4 years? Because I remember when you were leaving.
Yeah, it was-
we had a
that
discussion.
show. Yeah.
We had a show.
Yeah, we had a show
And
we
we
sat
talked
and
about
talked.
it.
Yeah.
And you were going to see your dad, and you were going to stay out there. Shit, we had a farewell show for you.
Yeah. In Ontario.
Ontario.
Yeah.
So now you're out there with your dad in Milwaukee. What are you doing out there?
Getting to know the guy.
How? Because and I'll tell you, because my dad passed away, and I wish I would have had this conversation with him, because there were so many stories untold and so much fucked up shit my dad did that I wanted to get to the bottom of it. And it was just I want to know what it was made up and what was real.
Well, that's exactly my mom's version.
Exactly.
His version. And my dad's version is so true. Like, because I know how my mom is.
You lived with her. You know
Exactly. So
what she is.
when he started telling me these stories, I'm like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of fucking sense. So just being in his presence, like as a son, because I didn't have him.
Did this ever go through your head? I was in this nutsack.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because my dad, he's super quick wit. Like he just has that shit where I don't. But he was like, man, and it reminded me because Dave Chappelle, he's like, man, you used to live in my bus, and he said that I was fucking dying. It was the first day I fucking flew in, and we were having dinner or whatever. And he was looking at me, and I was like, this is a little weird, And he's like, you used to live in my balls, man. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot. But it's funny because he had just watched the Dave Chappelle where he talks about it, and it was good. It was a good moment. But yeah, man, just being in his presence and understanding how his life went, because my dad was a jazz player, bro.
Yeah,
my dad went on tour, played. He's
interesting
a saxophone.
Nice.
Canada, he's done all that, and He knocked up my mom, you know. My mom was looking good. Fuck it. I was like, you fucking pedophile? Because I think my dad's like 15 years older than my mom or something like 15, 20. Yeah, he got him like a youngster.
Mom got a green card. Fuck it.
Exactly. It all worked out. But yeah, my dad's a super interesting dude. And just
does he do anything now?
No, he's bedridden. Like, bro, if he's up for more than an hour and a half, he starts to get the shakes.
Now is when he needs the crack, bro.
Well, yeah,
now
I know.
He
Yeah,
needs
it's
the
like,
crack.
let's go. But it's because they amputated his legs.
Shit.
Yeah, gangrene, like all the fungus, and they're like, we got the.
Yeah, because he's not moving them, right?
He's not moving. Yeah, no blood flow. Yeah.
Bed sores.
Bed sores, yeah.
And they get infected.
So they chopped that off, and yeah, he just fucking doesn't do shit really. Whenever he needs to really go out, he'll go out.
So you have 3 brothers?
I got James, Peter, Gregory, stepbrothers, Marvin, and my brother Michael from my dad's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your dad had another family after he lost his legs?
No, so Michael's older than me. Michael's shit. 50? I think he's 20 years older than me.
What is your fucking dad 110?
Nah, my mom's 50 something, so he's like 75. So he's up there.
Oh, he's up there.
Yeah, but he looks good, bro.
Of course, when you haven't worked since fucking
the epitome of a nigga. No, just joking. Just fucking around.
It's not like he was doing
I know, right?
I'm pretty sure if he did roofing, he looked like shit,
This
bro.
is true.
Fucking son kills you out there.
This is true. Nah, but even my grandma, it's genetics, bro. My grandma's fucking about to be 90. Looks 50.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
32.
I'm 33.
33. You
Be
shave that
34.
beard, you can play a high school kid.
Yeah.
Black skin, bro.
Yeah.
Black
I wish I
skin.
can fucking grow a beard. This is it, bro. This is
I do
it.
this so I can cover my white skin. All right, bro. Any shows coming up you want to promote? We're wrapping
Any
this
shows? Yes. I'll be at Oxnard Friday, August 23rd,
Okay.
9:45.
up. This will come out before.
And I'll be headlining. And then I have a show in Ontario. It's a showcase for the Inland Empire. I want to give back to those guys. That show is September 5th, which is a Thursday at 8 o'clock. So if you want tickets,
Where do they go? What are
you
all
can
your
go.
Social media?
All my social media is Rivest Dunlap. That's it. I'm the only Rivest in existence. So at Rivest Dunlap, to be spelled Rivest, Dunlap, Dunlap. Find me there. I have my assistants hook you guys up with tickets, VIP, fucking seating, whatever you want. So,
All right, guys, please subscribe to the channel and let your friends know about these interviews. You want to hear this one, Franco's, and all the old ones. Go to Richard Comedy, at Richard Comedy, for all my social media handles. Thank you very much.
thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Thank
bro.
you.
See you
It's
guys
fun.
later.
Peace.